know that I cannot go over 90 minutes on the house phone. But the thing is, I was hooked on the phone. So I love talking to the girls on the fifth floor, which is a floor up from our apartment. The phone things really got us hooked because this was not a North versus South Korea situations, and we was only 2 flights of stay apart. Look, I dial a number and someone pick it up on the other side. It's magic. So what a 10 years old and an 8 years old gotta do to be able to stay in our apartment, talk to each other on the phone, and not go over the phone limit? We had an idea. Now, bear in mind that this was the time before Google and Pinterest, so we didn't really have a full design. What we had was hearsay and whatever non-scientific information that we could piecemeal together. My grandpa said that if we have 2 cans and a string, we can talk to each other. How big are the cans? I don't know. How long are the string? I don't know. Have you seen one? Never. That is so cool. Let's try to make one. So we like the idea. We want to work towards this idea, and we go to the only source of true knowledge, fairy tales. I heard that frog skin are very elastic and it had a very good acoustic. How do you know? Well, remember when the princess kissed the frog and the frog turned to a prince? See, the frog is tiny and the prince is humongous. So therefore, the frog must have a very elastic skin. See how logic was sound. So we want to go forward with this frog phone operations, which call out for actual frogs. We got to the market and we will laser focus on only one thing: 2 living frogs. We want our frog to be chubby. Why? Because that will give us a lot more skin to play around with. We look out for some frog options. Some were too skinny for our taste. Some were too big and scary for our taste. Those frogs need to work out. And then we spot our frog. Amid the pond of frog, there was our frog. Look, just the right size and the right color combinations. Yes, that color would go so well with our can. So we fork our money and we pay for the frog. I felt incredibly shady. Frog, you think we're gonna just eat you like every other frog in your frog in a circle? Sorry, you're not gonna be able to live up to your fullest potentials. Carrying the frog home, it felt like everyone was giving us this dirty look. Frogs are just not just for their skin, they are more than just their pretty skin. Well, we deserved it. We're not gonna just eat this innocent frog like a normal human being. No, we are gonna harvest their largest organ, their skin. So we sneak the frog into our apartment and we do the unthinkable thing. We boil the water because that is how naughty frogs die in fairy tales. We think that we're gonna be able to harvest this frog in no time. We sit in quiet and wait for the water to boil. In our mind, it was this simple: boil water, frogs in, skins out. As the water started to reaching the boiling point and the bubbles start forming on the surface, our face was streaming with tears. Oh, look at this frog. I feel so sorry for them. I hope the frog's heaven is as good as dog heaven. So, flashing before our eyes were the lives that these 2 frogs could have had. They went to the frog ball, they have frog babies, and they live happily ever after. Do you want to put the frog into the boiling water? I realized that we haven't assigned this task out ahead of time. It was going to be you, right? You older, said my partner in crime. Which is how I think every crime probably goes. You older, so you go first. Nervously, I opened the bag, slyly. With the eye wide open, this frog was not going to fall for the hot boiling water trick. Got me through. There's a hot pot of water. Pivot, pivot, pivot. This frog was clever enough to duck the hot pot of water And now they're just hopping their ways around the apartment. Frog, where are you? Coming, come to me, come out. So we searched around the apartment and we couldn't see anything. We hear a little noise here and there, but we couldn't figure out where the noise came from. The definitions of insanity is you're doing the same thing over and over and you're expecting different results. And this is exactly what we did for the next 3 hours. So then we just got so depressed and we were just hoping and we're praying that eventually those frogs would get so bored and they would just come out of the hiding place already. And Joyous in a well-lit area, say center of the room in front of the TV, isn't that a little bit too much to ask? But no, they didn't. So we waited and we waited. And feeling defeated, we went back to the house phone. For the frogs, they live happily ever after.